This week's been a little tougher than most. Things are going well, but I guess yesterday and the day before I was feeling a lot of anxiety and just not really feeling myself. I think a lot of that is just the isolation is starting to get to me. I don't really feel lonely, but I think the isolation is starting to play tricks on me a little bit. So this isn't a surprise. It kind of came as, I'm expecting that to happen. So not a big deal, but it's nice to feel better today. I was feeling a lot of anxiety over the house and just the whole project. There's so much to do. Concerns people are going to come by and give me a hard time or something like that, which rationally considering that it's just not, it doesn't make any sense because very few people know actually where I am, and no one really cares enough to come out and give me a hard time. It's not easy to get out here and it's expensive. So it's just kind of interesting. I can rationally look at it and say, all right, that doesn't make sense. On paper, everything is going really well. I've got my cabin up, the shell of it anyway. Made my bed. I slept in that last night, and that was really nice. So I'm going to put up some more Tyvek and kind of finish the house. I may do some installation today if it's dry enough. It's been raining a lot, so I don't want to bring that stuff out in the wet weather. And actually, it's in the house already. What I really need to do is take everything else on half of the house outside because there's just not a lot of room. It's a very crowded space, obviously. It's a tiny little cabin, and I'm just putting stuff in there to get it out of the weather. So I've got everything in there. When it dries up enough, I will put a whole bunch of stuff on my front porch, install the insulation, and staple that in place, and then cover that with some visqueen to just stop the wind from going through and protect myself from the fibers. Fiberglass insulation is real nice, but it has some dangers to it as well. It can irritate your eyes and skin and lungs, so you gotta be careful. But looks like it's coming along pretty well. After I have that done, I'm gonna go ahead and install my bed a little differently than I had planned to. I was gonna put it up on basically a little shelf high enough, basically put little lips on the side of the wall all the way around the cabin of 2x4s that would hold the wood up, and then have one big pillar in the front that would hold it up, and then leave maybe a 2 or 3 inches spare underneath so I could put 2 full buckets, or 2 buckets high, 5-gallon buckets of food underneath there, or supplies. But I think now I'm not going to nail it down at all. I'm just going to put it on the buckets. I've got plenty of buckets, and it'll be very, very stable. It'll be more stable, really, because it's supported in far more locations. The other nice thing is that it will reduce 2 or 3 inches of wasted space, so I can slide buckets in and out. I'll just set it right on the buckets. The only downside really is that I will have to lift up the bed to pull out the buckets, but the buckets have stuff like 5 gallons of wheat or oats or whatnot, and I'm not going to be getting into that very often, so I'm not sure really how quickly I go through 5 gallons of oats, but it won't be even weekly. It'll probably be every other month or so. So I think that's a good solution. I'm going to give myself about 28 inches above me, and then put another shelf, and I'll actually just put supplies up there. Once I have those 2 items, the 2 shelves in place, and storage under the bed, I should be able to actually put a lot of things away and get a little bit more space. My dog Wilson, when she comes in, sometimes she just kind of looks at me like, where am I supposed to go? Because we've got about 4 square feet of floor space open right now. But she seems to be getting along pretty well, so no real problems. She's a good dog. So anyway, more on that later.